Public relation principles. How to manage conflict in an organization. Conflict management and resolution is a challenge that managers face in the corporate world. It needs careful understanding and analysis of the reason for conflict and need to resolve them. What is conflict? Conflict may be defined as a friction between individuals due to differences of opinions, ideas, beliefs, values, needs or objectives. It is clash of interest when one or more parties want the same thing. Not all conflicts are bad, some are healthy and conducive for organizational growth. Symptoms of conflict. Types of conflict. Interpersonal conflict refers to a conflict between two individuals. This occurs typically due to how people are different from one another. Apparently, it is a natural occurrence which can eventually help in personal growth or developing your relationships with others. In addition, coming up with adjustments is necessary for managing this type of conflict. Intrapersonal conflict occurs within an individual. The experience takes place in the person's mind. Conflict that is psychological, involving the individual's thoughts, values, principles and emotions. Interpersonal conflict may come in different scales. From the simpler mundane ones like deciding whether or not to go organic for lunch to ones that can affect major decisions such as choosing a career path. Intergroup conflict. Conflict that happens among individuals within a team. The incompatibilities and misunderstandings among these individuals lead to an intergroup conflict. It arises from interpersonal disagreements or differences in views and ideas. Within a team, conflict can be helpful in coming up with decisions which will eventually allow them to reach their objectives as a team. However, if the degree of conflict disrupts harmony among the members, then some serious guidance from a different party will be needed for it to be settled. Intergroup conflict. Competition also contributes for intergroup conflict to arise. Other factors which fuel this type of conflict, which include a rivalry in resources or the boundaries set by a group to others, which establishes their own identity as a team. Intergroup conflict takes place when a misunderstanding arises among different teams within an organization. Sales department of an organization can come in conflict with the customer support department. This is due to the varied sets of goals and interests of these different groups. Effects of conflict. Positive effects of conflict. Triggers the need for searching for new facts and solution. Improve group cohesiveness. Negative effects of conflict. Reduce productivity. Delay decision-making process. Waste of time and resources. Why does conflict arise? Conflict causes differing values. The workplace consists of individuals who all have their own perspective of the world. Some employees have strong beliefs, which they are not willing to compromise. These beliefs can conflict with coworkers, creating conflict. For example, if one individual strongly opposes workplace diversity, he may have trouble accepting other workers different from him. Opposing interest. When an employee decides to pursue their own career goals, without regard for the organizational goals and its well-being, it results in strife among her coworkers. This occurs when the employee becomes so focused on achieving her own objectives, she disregards how it affects others within the company and the company itself. Opposing interest. For instance, she may forget that she is a part of a team, in which the goal is to work together on a specific assignment. Consequently, she may work according to her own schedule and in the manner she sees fit, building resentment in her coworkers. Personality conflict. No two people are exactly alike, and it leads to personality clashes in the workplace. One employee may have a reserved personality, while another may be more outgoing and forward. Problems arise when the two do not understand or respect each other's inner nature. Poor communication leads to misunderstanding and strife among employees. Misunderstandings can occur if the manager asks one employee to relay important instructions to the other employees, but the employee fails to do so appropriately. Conveying wrong information can lead to projects being incorrectly done and to employees blaming each other for the end result. Managerial expectation. It is the job of an employee to meet the expectations of his manager, but if those expectations are misunderstood, conflict can arise. Managers need to spend time clearly communicating their goals to employees and then confirming those goals in writing. Lack of accountability. Organizational conflict might arise from frustration. One source of frustration is a lack of accountability. If something has gone wrong, and no one is willing to take responsibility for the problem, this lack of accountability can start to permeate throughout the entire company until the issue is resolved. Ways to manage conflict. Competing. An individual pursues his or her own concerns at the other person's expense. This is a power-oriented mode, in which one uses whatever power seems appropriate to win one's own position. Accommodating. When accommodating, an individual neglects his or her own concerns to satisfy the concerns of the other person. There is an element of self-sacrifice in this mode. Avoiding. Avoiding might take the form of diplomatically sidestepping an issue, postponing an issue until a better time, or simply withdrawing from a threatening situation. Compromising. The objective is to find some expedient, mutually acceptable solution which partially satisfies both parties. Compromising might mean splitting the difference, exchanging concessions, or seeking a quick middle ground position. And lastly, collaborating involves an attempt to work with the other person to find some solution which fully satisfies the concerns of both. It means digging into an issue to identify the underlying concerns of the two individuals and to find a solution which meets both sets of concerns. This is clearly the most effective approach of conflict management. Specifically, it will produce the following results. Both sides' needs are met. Satisfaction. Mutual respect. Both parties feel enriched rather than belittled. Continuing effort of both parties to work together. The theory of relationship management in public relation. Relationship is the most important in an organization regardless of internal public or external public, where it focuses more on relationship than communication. Relationship management theory takes into account the range of different aspects or dimensions in the way organizations relate to public and the ways publics relate to organizations. Effectively managing organizational relationships around common interest and shared goals, over time, results in mutual understanding and benefit for interacting organization and publics. Resolution of conflict based on relationship management theory. Examining the relationship among individuals or groups in terms of their attitudes, behaviors, and the underlying structure that influence the interaction between groups. Identify the wants and needs of all units. Prove a better understanding of the relationship between them and their objectives. Explain mutual benefits if all parties get along well with each other. Conclusion. Conclusion. Conflict arises when a difference between two or more people necessitates change in at least one person in order for their engagement to continue and develop. The differences cannot exist without some adjustment. Thank you.